A beautiful weekend to you all our amazing viewers. A fresh warning from the legal team of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu has added another layer to Nigeria's increasingly heated political atmosphere ahead of the 2027 general election. Barrister Aloy Ejimako has urged President Bola Tinubu's administration to immediately discontinue the criminal prosecution of activists and African Action Congress presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore, arguing that pressing ahead with the case could have serious political consequences. Drawing a comparison with one of the most controversial episodes in Nigeria's political history, Ejimako warned that the government should avoid repeating mistakes that, in his view, contributed to national instability in the 1960s. Ejimako made the remarks in a statement shared on X, where he criticized the ongoing prosecution of Sowore over a social media post in which the activist referred to President Bola Tinubu as a criminal. The lawyer argued that pursuing criminal charges over such remarks was unnecessary and could damage Nigeria's democratic image at a politically sensitive time. Ejimako, who served as a special counsel to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, said President Tinubu should carefully consider the broader political implications of the prosecution. According to him, history demonstrates that politically sensitive trials can have consequences extending far beyond the courtroom. To support his arguments, Ejimako referred to the trial and conviction of the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo in the early 1960s. He claimed that the political tension surrounding that prosecution contributed to a chain of events that eventually culminated in military intervention and the Nigerian Civil War. While historians continue to debate the causes of those historical events, Ejimako argued that governments should avoid actions capable of deepening political divisions during election periods. He stated that prosecuting a prominent opposition figure and presidential candidate over comments made on social media creates what he described as terrible democratic optics. According to him, such a move could be interpreted by observers as a sign of political intolerance rather than democratic confidence. He maintained that governments are generally strengthened, not weakened, by demonstrating a willingness to tolerate criticism from political opponents within the limits of the law. Ejimako also addressed the recent court appearance of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi. According to the lawyer, the Attorney General had an opportunity to bring the matter to an end but did not do so. He argued that the government should instead discontinue the prosecution by entering a no prosequi, a legal procedure through which the Attorney General formally withdraws criminal charges in appropriate circumstances. According to Ejimako, discontinuing the case will send a stronger message about Nigeria's commitment to democratic principles than continuing with a politically sensitive criminal trial. He argued that ending the prosecution will reduce political tension ahead of the general election while reinforcing public confidence in democratic institutions. The lawyer further contended that subjecting a presidential candidate to criminal proceedings close to a national election risks creating unnecessary controversy and diverting public attention from substantive political debates. In his view, democratic competition should primarily be decided by voters at the ballot board rather than being overshadowed by courtroom proceedings involving opposition candidates. The comment comes as political activities continue to intensify ahead of the 2027 elections, with parties repositioning themselves, building alliances, and preparing for nationwide campaigns. As political competition increases, debates surrounding freedom of expression, political criticism, and the limits of criminal prosecution have become increasingly prominent in public discourse. Supporters of robust free speech argue that public officials should be prepared to tolerate strong criticism because of the nature of democratic politics. Others maintain that freedom of expression must still operate within the framework of existing laws, particularly where statements are alleged to be defamatory or otherwise unlawful. Ultimately, such questions are resolved through Nigeria's legal system and the courts. As of the time of the statement, neither the presidency nor the office of the Attorney General had publicly responded to Ejimakor's latest comments. Likewise, there has been no official announcement indicating that the federal government intends to withdraw the case against Sowore. The case therefore remains before the courts, where legal argument from both the prosecution and the defense will continue to be examined. Until a final judicial determination is made or the government formally discontinues the proceedings, the allegation and legal issues surrounding the matter remain subject to due process. Whether Ejimakor's appeal influences the government's position remains to be seen. What is already clear is that his intervention has intensified discussion about the balance between law enforcement, political competition, and democratic freedoms in Nigeria. As the country moves closer to another general election, the outcome of high-profile legal disputes involving political figures is likely to remain an important part of the national conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you find this report insightful, kindly like, share, and subscribe for more news reports. I'm Chidera Isom. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next report.